Hello, how's everybody doing today? My name is Hydrocore, or at least here on YouTube. um, and also a little bit of an introduction about myself when it comes to my history, when it comes to anime and manga. Um, let's see. So I'll start with anime because that was my first out of the two that I started with. I watched Dragon Ball when I was a kid. Not much. It's the show. The artwork's great. Character development, great. Characters overall are fantastic. You know, they're iconic. So that was my first real anime that I watched. English version. After that, I would say Pokemon and Digimon would be the next animes that I watched. Technically. But I never really knew that they were. I just enjoyed watching the shows, and I thought of them as cartoons. You know, they were on, I think it was Cartoon Network or Toonami, whatever it was called at the time. I was really little. And then I don't think I would watch another anime until I was in high school. I mean, I watched a lot of Cartoon Network and a lot of Toonami, so I can't say for sure. But the next one that I do really remember watching would be Naruto when it came out on Toonami. I couldn't believe it. I was like, whoa, what kind of a show is this? I was like, where did it come from? You know, this was something completely different than what I was used to watching, and I loved it. I loved it from the beginning. I was like, this show is awesome. I was like, this is the kind of show I've been waiting to see for a long time. And I continued watching Naruto through to the end. I watched every single filler episode as well. I just loved the show. I love the characters. It was great, you know, and it was my favorite anime for a really long time. Mainly because it was the only one I knew. When I was 20, that's when I kind of reintroduced myself to it. I think it was Bleach and Naruto Shippuden at the time that kind of brought me back into it. And I found a number of other people, surprisingly, while I was serving in the military. I found a number of other individuals that were anime fans as well. And that's kind of when I don't want to say dipped my toes into it, but kind of plunged deep back into anime. And, you know, people would be like, oh, well, did you ever watch Inuyasha? And I was like, oh, what's Inuyasha? And so they'd show me Inuyasha, and I was like, how the heck did I never see this? Or Yu Yu Hakusho. Those are the two that I can remember, like, right off the top of my head. One Piece, I still read the manga. The Paramount War was amazing. That was just, wow, incredible. That's kind of like my introduction into anime. When it comes to manga, it was definitely Naruto Shippuden. That was my introduction to it, mainly because I was tired of waiting. It had been such a long gap for American fans, between Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. And I was curious. I really wanted to know what was happening with Naruto. And I knew that the manga was much farther ahead than the TV show. And I had caught up dubbed-wise on Naruto as much as I could. And so I was like, okay, well, I want to know more. I want to find out what's going on. Like, I know the manga's farther ahead. So I read the manga, and I read as pretty much as straight through as far as I could from where I'd left off on the anime. And so that was my introduction into manga. I started reading the Bleach manga. I started reading the One Piece manga. And now, you know, it's 2019. I started doing this back in the early 2000s. So it's been about a decade or just a little under a decade since I started being really involved in anime and manga. A lot of my friends now, we all share it as an interest. I have Crunchyroll, and we all share it, and we watch our favorite shows. And right now I'm in the process of reading the manga for Demon Slayer, reading the manga for Boku no Hero, My Hero Academia. I'm also continuing to read One Piece. I've read Shield Hero. Goblin Slayer I finished. That one was really good. I've even read the side one for it. I read Read Life after I watched the anime. That was just kind of one of those slice of life ones that I randomly fell into and just ended up enjoying. And I didn't know if the manga went farther than the anime had, so I just kind of wanted to read that and see what that was all about. Right off the top of my head, like while I'm recording this, those are the ones that like really stick out to me. Anime wise, I am watching One Piece, Demon Slayer, waiting for My Hero to come back. I'm watching The Abandoned Sacred Beasts. Don't really know how I feel about that show yet. I don't dislike it, and I enjoy watching it to a certain extent. I guess I'm just kind of, it's going to be a 1 season, possibly 2 season show. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one, but I have friends that watch it and they really love it. And so I kind of just watch it just to watch it. It's an enjoyable show to entertain myself with for 30 minutes a day, 23 minutes throughout the day. Especially on Mondays when it's out. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. If you have any recommendations for me, I'm always looking for new ones. Both manga and anime. I'm always open to. I've also got a lot on Crunchyroll that I've watched that I don't see a lot here on YouTube, so I could always talk about them. If anybody wants a full list of everything that I've watched on Crunchyroll, I could definitely post a list, or I could make a recording of all the ones that I have watched and am currently watching. My friends also add constantly new ones to the Crunchyroll list. It's kind of like our queue is kind of like a huge history of stuff that we've watched and are watching. Magi, we watched both of those. And so that's kind of where I am. This channel's mostly going to be manga reviews. I'm going to be honest here. I'm not good at video editing, so I want to do reaction videos later on to the shows that I watch. So I'm slowly building up my video editing skills so that I can do those kind of things. For right now, it's mostly just going to be audio because that's the easiest thing for me to do. So thank you all for hopping on here and listening to this informative recording from a new YouTuber. Possibly. We'll see how this all goes. But I would definitely enjoy having some support. It would encourage me to continue with this. I want to stay involved in anime, and I want to continue staying involved in anime and manga. And this is kind of just a fun way for me to be involved. Pitch my theories, my ideas. See if there's anybody else out there that has the same one. Especially Black Clover. That's the other one I'm watching / reading right now, Black Clover person. So on this channel, if I do anything that would be considered a spoiler, I will always let people know about it. I'll put it up and put spoiler up on the screen and be like, okay, here's 5 seconds for you guys to leave the video and so you can avoid any spoilers. This is just kind of an introduction to my channel. If you don't have to subscribe. I'm not looking for subscribers. I'm just starting, so I'm not expecting it. But please like the video. Let me know that there's people out there that are interested in what I have to say. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking of. Thank you so much. Later.